Are you looking for valuable business advice to reach that 7-figure revenue mark? Do you want actionable tips to properly navigate through every business challenge you encounter along the way? Let Tersh Blissett and Josh Crouch be your guide in getting you to the top here at Service Business Mastery. Tune in as they sit down with world-renowned authors in business, leadership, and personal growth who share valuable insights about management, marketing, pricing, human resources, and so much more. Let their nuggets of wisdom gold guide you in owning a thriving, profitable, and ever-growing business. Here are your hosts, Tersh and Josh.
What's up, everybody out there in Facebook, YouTube, podcast world? We're here live at the Service World Expo event with Contractor Commerce
in Louisville.
In Louisville, Kentucky.
Is it Louisville? Will, you're from Ohio. You know how to pronounce it.
Oh, I say Louisville.
Louisville. But it's not,
like normal people.
It's not Louisville.
No. There's an S in it.
Yes.
Oh, so I'm here with Tall Paul. I don't know. Well, how he got that name, and with Will Housh. Some of you may know we've had Will on the show before. Actually, I don't think it's gone live yet on the podcast.
We have to change that. So notes editor, if you're watching, we need to push that out.
Right? Yeah, totally. But yeah, I'm super excited to share Contractor Commerce with you. I've been sending everybody I talk to over here, if you don't have it on your website, you got to have it on your website. That's just the conversation that I've had with everybody. But yeah, Josh, I like the.
Yeah, Tersh actually has this on his website. Yeah. So send some traffic to his site. Go check it out.
Yeah.
And this is they're going to talk about it. This is the future. I mean, people want solutions online, and if you don't have it, they're going to find somebody else who does. And these guys here offer a great solution that is about as easy as you're ever going to be able to make it to have your own store without going through all the headache of development and everything else. So with that being said, Will, do you want to talk a little bit about who you guys are and what you guys do?
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate you guys having us on. We're excited. We're here, Service World Expo in Louisville, and we're talking about online stores for contractors. So our whole point of view is that the future is that every contractor is going to eventually have an online store. That's how consumers want to shop. That's how we all shop for everything anyway. So why in the world would we not do the same thing if you're in heating and air, plumbing, electrical, whatever trade you're in? The products and services that you sell, your customers want to buy them right through your website, and the technology exists to make it easy. So that's what we're doing. That's what Contractor Commerce is all about.
And I can't even imagine a scenario. It's going to go off script here, but I can't imagine a scenario that we're here 5 years or 10 years from now, and your customers still don't have a way to buy the things that you sell on your website. It fascinates me. So we were talking with a couple different marketing companies here. I think there's probably 10 or 12. And the idea that, everyone's spending millions of dollars on ad campaigns, sending their consumers to landing pages for contact forms or phone calls. Like, how do the biggest brands in the world convert? They convert with a credit card. And I know we're kind of getting into the weeds now, but like the idea that online shopping shouldn't exist for contractors is absurd. It should absolutely exist. And so we're trying to make it a normal thing, and we think that this was a perfect opportunity. So thanks to Service World Expo for having us as we kind of unveil what we've been testing for years. Like I say testing, we're actually practitioners, so we do e-commerce ourselves. We're now letting contractors have that technology on their website to use. So we're excited about it. It's been a pretty good show. And
if you guys can't hear that in the background, hopefully you guys can. That's the they have a sign of how many online orders they've done today, which I think is, I don't know if we can get that on camera, but what are we up to? We're over 1,000.
Yeah.
So
just today,
people are shopping online and making orders. It's happening literally live as we're standing here. So
I think the one thing that I love about it on ours is it's a subscription service. So no matter what, they're like I have a couple clients that I've personally gone in their house, and they didn't have they were missing their April air filter, and they're like, oh, I bought the house, there's never been one there. And I was like, well, here's the link to where you go to get it. And I sent them to my website, and then they signed up, and now every 3 months, every 6 months, actually, 3 months for them, it automatically is sending them one. And when it arrives, that's when they know to change it out. So they're just like, okay, I'll change it out now.
Right.
Yeah. And the unique distinction is when they get on your site, they're not like following a link and landing on another site where they're creating an account and processing an order and you're getting like back credit for it. They're going on your site, they're placing an order with your company, they're getting an email from you and a text message notification from, with the FedEx tracking number, and they're getting that Amazon-like experience, Amazon Prime-like experience directly from you. They don't know who we are. No offense to Will and I, but they probably never will. Yeah, and that's okay.
You guys private label the box that comes too, don't you?
So we put an invoice inside the box with the contractor's label on it, so that it is a fully branded experience. And then the other key is like margin. Like so many contractors have given up on the idea that you can actually make margin on furnace filters and throw a loss later. Oh, yeah. Like before I go off the rails here, but like the idea of going to a supply house and picking up a filter and then bringing it back to the shop and then taking it to a customer, even if you pull the shop out of it, is highly unproductive, right? And the risk of damaging and handling and all of those things, right? Supply houses handle the big boxes, right? That's their core.
Yeah.
The idea that it needs to be a low margin item isn't true either. Like you should be able to mark it up. In our case, our clients mark it up 20-25%. And you're making not just 25% of the filter, you're making 25% of the filter that you would have never sold otherwise if you wouldn't have had it on your website because they would have bought it off of Amazon.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the hard part that contractors might think like, my customers don't buy, we're just talking filters. We're not even talking about systems yet, but contractors think, no one really buys that many filters from us. You're right. They buy them from Amazon.
Well, it's funny because on my way down to the show, I passed a huge billboard that had Menards filter program. And I told these guys before we went on, Home Depot is all over Pandora. And I don't know if they're just targeting me or what, but they're all over Pandora promoting their online filter program. And it's
remarketing.
The big box, the big box stores are going after it hard. You know that there is a reason why. They've done the research. And again, you're just losing market share to big box stores, and you're not even trying to fight back.
And on top of the revenue and the margin that's available on filters, an even bigger deal is maintaining that close, loyal, sticky relationship with as many customers as possible, having your brand in front of them on a regular basis because you're giving them the convenience of the filter, so that when they need a service call, when they need a quote on a new system, who do they think of first? It's the company that's taking care of them on the filter side. And like you said, that's not to mention selling maintenance agreements, tune-ups, other services, fully installed systems. The future is that customers want to do all that kind of stuff on your website. So it isn't just about filters.
Dive deeper into that, like the filter, the systems and other options that you're able to sell with that.
Well, think about all the other things that we shop for in any other industry. There's upfront pricing, there's pricing transparency. You want to go buy a car, you go on the Ford website, you can pick the vehicle, you can customize it, you can add all your options, and you can see what the pricing is going to look like. You can even send that to the local dealership and walk right in there, and it's basically a done deal.
Yeah, you don't go to buy a King Ranch and you're like, it's 80 grand?
Yeah.
Really? Like, no, they didn't think it was 30 grand. And that's what happens in air conditioning, because contractors are not putting the pricing online, but consumers are going on and searching for it. So if contractors aren't putting the pricing online, other people are putting the pricing online, they're getting the wrong pricing. So no wonder I see in all these groups, someone will post a text message exchange with a homeowner anonymously or whatever. They're like, this person's such an idiot. They think a full change out should cost $4,500. It's not their fault. That's actually your fault.
Yes.
There's no reference point online.
There's no reference point. So like there's no other industry where it would not be okay to have upfront pricing. And there's ways to you don't just put your entire retail price book online.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. So, they're not going to see like XR17 is going to cost this amount. Like, how do you work that out? Because we all know that there's situations where like a closet change out may be different than, and a restricted access attic install.
So this is one point of clarification is we're not talking about selling individual pieces of equipment and shipping them to the customer.
Right.
What we're talking about is the local trusted contractor selling a fully installed system to their local customer. The contractor provides the equipment, contractor provides the labor, the warranty, and a professional job. And the contractor can choose how they want to list that, what pricing they show, what description they show. But an important part of the flow is once the customer goes through and answers a few simple questions, picks out the system that they want, the next step is a site visit. So
it doesn't. That's not the end all be all. Like, okay,
we're all from this industry. We know that there's situations that come up. You need to do a load calculation. You need to measure. You got to make sure there's no unique circumstances that might change the price one way or the other. The homeowner understands that also. They got a sight unseen price, super convenient and easy. But yeah, let's go out and verify it. Then we get the job rolling, collect payment when we're finished with the work.
We have had instances, though, like with Travis Smith at Sky, where he had ductless mini split pricing on his website, and a general contractor or someone went in and actually put their credit card number in and bought it from him, and he had to call him back and let him know, like, no, this is for residential. But the concept is that people are comfortable with this. This is how you buy things, right? So, and then going back, I know we skipped forward to systems, which is just, a really, I don't want to say controversial topic, but like people draw passionate lines around the idea, right? It's not up to us as contractors, right? It's not up to contractors whether or not it's a good idea. It's up to the consumers. Like the contractors who do business the way consumers want to do business will win. And look at every other company in the world to prove that out. But we talk about systems. I think we talk about towing or putting our toe in the water. Yeah. Start with memberships, like memberships or two.
So there's, just so that everybody understands, there's 3 levels there. It's not just you have to do it all or you can only do one thing. Like you can pick and choose that.
It's modular. Yeah. Pick the things that you're comfortable with that feel right for your business, and you can work your way into other modules as you go along. And like Paul was saying, services, memberships, tune-ups, things like that. Homeowners are buying those from contractors through their websites left and right.
Great examples. We have a client in Florida who sold their first membership, and I called them to ask them, like, hey, what did you do? What did you change in your business to sell this membership on your website as opposed to having a CSR do it on the phone or doing it in the house? And she's like, she looked it up and said, oh, this customer, they were a maintenance customer years ago. We haven't been able to get a hold of this guy. He kind of fell off the earth. And somehow he just went onto their website and renewed his membership. Like, that's what consumers want.
Yeah, that's crazy. And so with that being said, it's not just the maintenance agreements that are sold in that second tier. We can put other items on there, even if we wanted to sell like our merchandise and stuff like that. That's correct?
Yep. You can list any product you want to sell. You want to put one of those fancy hats on there or some of those fancy shoes that you wear. Yep. Just put them right on there, man. Collector's item.
Not to name drop shamelessly, but Lou Housh has garbage disposals, water heaters. Water heaters.
I love his site. If somebody's listening to this or watching this, it's the easiest word to spell ever.
You love a Housh. It rhymes.
Yeah. Go to his website and visit the shop page. I mean, he's killing it. I mean, I love the way it's designed. Yeah, it really does.
Services.
Yeah.
I don't even know what else it does. He's got a ton of stuff.
The idea is, if I'm a contractor, I would feel, and they have been over the years, so threatened when a customer calls in and says, hey, I got a quote from your company, but I went on Amazon and I noticed I can get, a Goodman or I'm just picking names, a York, whatever. I noticed I can get that for, $2,800. My response as a contractor is, you can get that same unit off of my website for $4,800, and it includes the installation. It includes the professional installation and the warranty, and it brings value back to that thing that's being like deconstructed and commoditized. All contractors are afraid that one day it's going to be like law that parts and material are going to have to be broken out, and everyone's going to know profit margins. That's right.
Yeah, right.
That's why there's that hard line in the
It's
sand.
their fault.
Yeah.
It's their fault because there's no transparency.
Yeah.
Because you get the wrong
You're just wandering.
lawyer ticked off because you came into their house and you told them that their comfort system is $27,000, and they Google and land somewhere to find out that the material cost $3,800.
Guess why that separation is happening? Why equipment is being bought online direct? It's because contractors haven't provided upfront transparent pricing already. So consumers want to know. They're going online to find out. and contractors aren't giving them what they're asking for. So that's our whole philosophy. Let's start with what the customer wants and work backwards.
You guys reminded me of a story when I was actually doing sales. I was in someone's house and I gave him my price, and he literally pulled his phone out, and I knew he was on like AC Wholesalers or something like that, and he said, well, it's this price right here. What's the difference? Because he didn't know. He's like, well, can't you just install that for like $500?
Right.
Like, hell no, we can't. But it's amazing that the disconnect between homeowners and contractors. And I think this really bridges a gap that, I mean, honestly, we're going through this entire expo. There's nothing else like this out there.
Yeah. Yeah, and the reality is there will be things out there like this, but aren't centered on the contractor. There will be some, if I'm at Service World Expo in 2027, and there's not a company called Buy Your AC direct off my website.com and we'll ship it to you and hook you up with a qualified, installer, I would be really, really surprised. So what we're trying to do is put that in.
That's kind of a long domain name.
Exactly. Yeah, right. But those technology companies are existing, right? Because they see the margin in HVAC or plumbing or whatever it is. They see opportunity, just like every other industry. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Uber did not consult the taxi industry when they created Uber. They did not ask what was best for taxi drivers. And tech companies aren't going to ask what's best. Manufacturers are not going to ask what's best. It's going to be what's best for them.
Yeah.
But the fact that we came from a contracting background means we've started from a mentality of what is best for the contractor. We want contractors to be able to future-proof their business and give them these tools so that regardless of the changes in the industry that are already here and that are coming, they've got the tools at their fingertips to keep succeeding and keep differentiating.
Guys, I can talk from a marketing perspective about getting this on your website. It is literally one piece of code, and it took like 30 seconds to do the whole thing, log into the website, put it on, save it, and it was live. So, I mean, from a point of view of setting this up, it is so fast. There is some back-end work you have to do to set up your store and stuff, but that stuff can constantly be worked on. Getting this on your site and live and being able to offer filters in a day is super easy. So I think that's something that it's never been easier to do this. I mean, it's plug and play, and you just got to talk to these guys first and figure out what solution works best for you.
Yeah, the development team at Contractor Commerce has worked really hard to make sure that it's a fully customizable experience, because we know that like right out of the box, everyone's going to have different requests, different ways they want to ask questions, different things that matter for their market. So when people sign up, they go through an onboarding session, and really that onboarding session is setting up the custom settings so that the company, the contractor, is comfortable with the experience that the consumer is going to see. So that's a big part of the process too. It's easy to plug in and put on the site, and then it's customizable, which is cool.
If there's one thing we know, it's right here on my shirt. Your customers want to shop online. And since we know that, what do we do with that information, right? How are we going to change our behavior and how we run our business to be successful and give customers what they want? Getting an online store is easy to do. It's customizable. You can sell anything you want, products, services, systems, and it's here. It's not some idea out in the future. It's here today.
What's up, Brigham?
I want to talk not about like the technology of Contractor Commerce, but I want to talk about like the nuance that's created between the relationship between a homeowner and a contractor when they're not waiting until they're in the home to like build value, reveal price, right? Frank Besejnik, shout out to Real Frank, told me something yesterday that I'll never forget. He said that people would rather deal with the known than the unknown.
Scary deal. Something you don't know.
It's scary,
Because
right?
everyone thinks they're going to get sold. Nobody likes to be sold.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to buy. They want to purchase, but they don't want to be sold.
Yeah, when you walk into a restaurant, they hand you a menu with all the options and the prices on it, and you get to pick. And that's actually kind of an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
It's not so enjoyable when it says like market price and then you have to ask.
Yeah.
Like, and then they put the sales pitch on you. Right.
That's exactly it. And
Just tell them what it costs.
I don't want to discount like any of the traditional ways of doing business. I still think word of mouth is way better than digital marketing in some degrees. It just depends on how much reach you can get, right? Is there anything better than saying like, call Tersh, he will come out to your house, he will sit down with you, and he'll get this taken care of? There's nothing better than that, but how scalable is that?
Right.
Right?
got to clone myself.
Gotta clone yourself.
Yeah.
We don't need another
Don't
Tersh
do it.
in the world.
Yeah, I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know. All my nuances. So as we wrap things up, we're right here at our limit. Hey man, how are you?
So good seeing you.
Everybody
It
knows
is.
Tersh, if you guys don't already know.
Yeah, it happens. But why are you standing next to me?
Do you know what I was just thinking?
What?
Since you're asking the question, I don't have an answer for that. I was thinking, like, if your name was Robert, would you be as popular? Because Tersh is such a unique name that, like,
I've already had this.
you're like Oprah. Like,
I don't need a last
What's
name.
You don't need
They literally asked me what's my last name at the booth up there. I was like, I don't know.
It's just
You
Tersh.
don't need that.
wonder,
Yeah,
like,
it's like-
if my name were Phil or Ryan, like, would I be Tall Ryan?
Paul Ray has a
you
nice
might.
voice.
It may have actually stunted your growth if you had done that. Yeah.
So interesting.
But it's also a bad thing too. It can be a bad thing because there's people who have said, "Oh yeah, I know him," but they don't really know me. So
Right.
it's whatever. But I've learned to deal with it. And the nicknames, I got them in high school and middle school and elementary school, so I learned to live with it.
You're still getting them now.
Yeah, let's be honest, we do. Yeah.
Well, it's been good hanging with you guys. Thanks
Yeah.
for having us on.
It honestly, it's truly a pleasure to come and chill with you guys for sure.
Yeah, these guys are super easy to talk to. Just start a conversation with them. Go to Tersh's website, check it out. There's, like I said, there's a bunch of other ones on there, but it's serviceemperor.com. Make sure you spell it right.
Yeah,
Emperor.
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 Yeah.
If you spell it wrong, I have that domain too, so it comes to me.
And go to contractorcommerce.com. Imagine this: our pricing is upfront and online, and you can sign up without talking to us. So
That's
our
weird.
website,
That's a weird concept.
That's
can
gonna
sell-
catch on.
You can set up filters on your website for less than $49 a month. You can have the entire suite of Contractor Commerce all set up for $149 a month, super cheap. And if you sign up and mention Tersh, you'll get the first month free. So we'll give that back to you.
All right, there you go.
Check that out. That's what's up. And it's TERSH, not TURSH.
'Cause that doesn't, that won't work.
Yeah, it's TERSH. Yeah. Cool guys. Thank y'all so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Tersh.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Service Business Mastery. Now that you are equipped with essential business advice from this impactful conversation, you are one step closer to becoming the successful owner of your dreams. If this episode has been helpful to your business journey, don't forget to subscribe to the show, leave a rating, and share it with other owners as well. Visit servicebusinessmastery.com to learn more.
Good idea.